So Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Tunde Ajayi here at Box Up Crime in Ilford. How you doing?
Still shadow boxing. Imagine when some old granddad shadow boxing.
Well, you don't do it once you've been knocked out. That's a more worrying sign, but... we saw confirmed now, officially, Anthony Yarde challenging for the unified light heavyweight titles against Artur Beterbiev. How are you feeling in the approach to this compared to how you felt for his first world title shot against Sergei Kovalev?
Oh, fantastic question, Dan. Because so many people, not so many, but a few people have asked me, and because they said I look so relaxed, at the presser. Myself and Anthony look very relaxed, and I said it before and I say it again. Experience is something you can't buy, borrow, or pretend to have, and I feel that this time round it just feels right. It feels right. There's nothing there. There wasn't no nerves the first time, hence why we went to Russia. But this time it just feels right. And that was the most telling thing for me personally at the press conference the other day.
Aside from the experience factor, which is of course incredibly important, how much of a difference is it the location of the fight? Because I know there were lots of things that went on over in Russia that may not have affected the outcome ultimately, but can't have helped the preparation.
Oh wow, that really goes without saying. And it's an experience which myself, Anthony, the team, George Warren, I think George mentioned it at the press conference. We have to look back at it and really just laugh, just take it as it was an experience for all of us. But I always say there's a reason why odds go up for home matches, home advantage. The main thing for me is the fact that the people that you grow with, that know you, that see you every day, have an opportunity to support something or an event maybe where they're used to watching on telly. So many of my friends that I grew up with, they're like, I always get messages from them, I see you on telly. But now the tickets are flying, because they actually have an opportunity to be part of history, and home advantage means a lot.
Tell us, and this is going to take you back a long way, but tell us how you first met Anthony Yarde, how that came about.
Oh wow, you go about moons. And I always say serendipity, because a great friend of mine, former athlete, Jolene, I hope she doesn't mind me calling her name because she's really behind the scenes. She said there's a young man I want you to have a look at, not knowing that she had already spoke to Anthony and said that, yeah, do you know Tunde? And so she brought Anthony to the gym, and I think the first day, because I had so many people, I was training I had everyone in the gym, Craig Richards. The gym was just packed. It was buzzing. It was thriving, and Anthony came, and I remember I gave him something like 10 minutes pads. And I said to him, if you want to do this, come back tomorrow at 5 a.m. I don't know how I managed to get this young man in the gym at 5 a.m., but he was eager. And he came back 5 a.m. And I think over the course of the next few weeks, I gave him pads, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes pads. I was telling a young man the other day, like, people may look at this whole happening and think that it's literally overnight, but there were times when Anthony had to wait for like 2 hours to get my attention because I had so many people in the gym, and so Anthony would wait and wait and wait, and I always remember him at Peacock Gym at the back, just wrapping up his hands, just watching everybody go in front of him, then going on the bag, hitting the bag for like an hour, and then getting his 10 minutes pads. But it came to the point where I had so many people that was training. I said, what have you actually won? Because I didn't know anything about Andy. I don't know that not many people wanted to fight him in the amateurs, even though despite having only a few amateur fights. So I said, what have you won? He said, nothing. I said, all right, we'll go back and win something and then come back to me, because right now my hands are tied. Literally this young man went back, entered the Haringey Box Cup and knocked out everybody. Came back with the medal and said, "Unks, would you train me now?" And I said, "That's it." And that is where the story started. From the moment he came back and showed me his willingness to actually go away, win something, you know, wanting to train with me that badly, you know, and just walk this whole journey, you know, through with ups and downs. And I just think it's I was saying, like, we're sorry to go off subject, but like, we're council estate kids. Like, this is stuff, you can't make this up, Dan. Like, we are men who have stayed grounded, started from zero, not given any favors. And now people, even now, in the environment that we're in now, can look at us and, you know, say we've made it to the top of the mountain. Because we have. And not once, let me just add, this is twice. You know, once is maybe luck, but twice for an even bigger prize than it was the first time. I think says a lot about Anthony as a young man, as somebody who is so driven to be to the success in his own mind. It's just something that I feel is going to be spoken about and written about, and also something for young people to look at and say, young people from our environment. I keep saying this because it is, with all what's going on in the moment in London City, with the killings, with the stabbings, with the young people just acting mad, I think they can actually look at Anthony Yarde and say to themselves, he done it, we can do it. You know, there's hope, there's no excuses, because we've come from the same roads. And I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of myself as well. I will never forget that. And we're going to make history.
You had that incredibly busy gym, as you just described. Now your eggs are very much only in one basket. You sacrificed everything else that was going on and focused purely on Anthony Yarde. What was it about him or about your relationship that made you take that decision?
Well, even to this day, Anthony knows I'm driven by hard work. And many have come and many just can't hang. And it got to a stage where me single-handedly choosing or saying that I was only going to train Anthony is really when everybody that I was training at the time decided to walk out and leave. You know, Daniel Dubois was there, Craig Richards was there, Kevin Mitchell, all these, O'Hara Davis, all these young men who, you know, they've walked their own journey. And I always respect them. I still speak to all of them. There's nothing, you know, I don't have no bad feelings for any of them. But the young man I was training, Otu Saba, Junior Benjamin, people know him as, you know, he was another young man that I put everything into. And, you know, we done it. I remember we done it. We went to Las Vegas over a protracted period of time, maybe 3-4 years. I was taking him as a young man. And, you know, we kept on having the Stamina for Sale t-shirts and tried to make Floyd Mayweather see us, and we done it. You know, Floyd signed this young man. And I remember I came back to the gym, Peacock Gym. There was about 12 fighters, and I said, everyone, come, let's go around the corner. I was all walking around the corner, and I said to the team, we done it. Otu Saba has been signed by Floyd Mayweather, and he's going to make his professional debut on the undercard of Floyd Mayweather Maidana. And the weird thing is that I felt it. Nobody was actually happy. If like that, I was like, this is weird. I was expecting everybody to be jumping, and that's what I felt within myself. And to prove that, the only fighter out of the whole team that came to Las Vegas was Anthony Yarde. The only one. The Thursday before the fight, the word came through from the medical board of Las Vegas that Otu had failed his brain scan. Came back to London, 95% of those fighters all left me. No, 100% of them all left me. But they all left, and the only one who stayed with me was Anthony. And because of that, I said, I'm giving you everything. Everything that I've been blessed with, I'm going to give it to you. And within 3 years of Otu Saba meant to having his debut in Las Vegas, within 3 years, Anthony Yarde was fighting in Russia for a world title and 12-fight amateur novice. And 3 years after that, he is now fighting for a unified belt. So this ain't no abracadabra. You know, I focused all my strength and energy and time on Anthony, and Anthony has done more than me, you know, because he's the fighter. And I feel that you have to reward loyalty. Loyalty is royalty. And I feel I've shown that. When Anthony had the opportunity to run away because of the loss in Russia, he showed how strong he is mentally. Because I think when you're with somebody, you know them. You know them, despite what people may say outside. And Anthony knows how focused I am to my sport, to my craft. And it's just, I'm just happy for him. I'm just happy for him. And I feel that loyalty had to be repaid by that single focus for Anthony Yarde.
And with all that in mind, should you get the job done in January? I'm not allowed to assume you're going to win. You can. Dream it, believe it, become it. But I can't do that. So, but if it does go your way, as you believe it will, in January, how will you feel, do you think? Have you kind of let yourself visualise it?
I mean, visualization is something that you have from the beginning. You know, I think if you're a driven person, you have to have a goal. If you don't have goal, you don't know where you're going. So goals are very important when you go into anything. For me, I've always had a goal to just be a great trainer. And you can't be a great trainer or a great fighter unless you're put in a great situation. And I feel that Russia was a great situation, you know, and not many people have a second bite at the apple, so to speak. And so I don't know how I'm going to feel. I've thought about it. We just have to wait till the 28th when Anthony's in that ring shouting lines in the camp, and we've done it.
Give us your analysis of Beterbiev as a fighter and a champion.
A great fighter. Listen, when I respect somebody, when I respect any individual, you've got all my focus. Because it's not that I don't respect people normally, but boxing, fighting, to me, I look for certain qualities in the greats, you know, the Roy Joneses, the Mike Tysons, the Floyd Mayweathers. And I have to say that I respect this man. And because of that, he's got everything in terms of my focus. And I feel that I know that we'll see that on the 28th. So very well respected. I think I've got a respect I didn't have in Russia for my opponent. But this one has got my full attention. So he's a great champion, and I thank him for the opportunity because it's going to be a great fight.
Talking of respect, after that defeat to Kovalev, you personally came in for a lot of criticism. And I know those things don't get to you, but should everything go your way in January, will you feel any level of personal kind of redemption or vindication?
Oh, man, you're pulling them out today. Listen, these are great questions. Because I asked myself, sorry, this is New Jack Ilford.
They found us. It's over, Tunde. It's over. Give ourselves up.
But you know what, Dan? Like, I asked myself, like, I just don't have that revenge thing in me. I can't. I feel that if I was that kind of way inclined, I just wouldn't be here. I feel that an individual cannot evolve if they have hatred in their heart. or a revengeful heart, a jealous heart. And I see some of these comments sometimes, and I just think to myself, or say to myself, I wish you all the best, my man. Keep doing what you're doing, because you ain't taking me down that road where I start saying, see, I told you so. You lot should have listened to me. Yeah. Nah, that ain't me, Dan. I've always said to myself, the way to repay, if you believe or you don't believe in a higher power, a God, a universe, is just to do the best with the talents you've been given. And everyone writes their own story. You don't start going into blaming others for your life. And that's the thing that anyone who knows me knows where I've come from. I've always said that. Like, I don't care where you've come from. I don't care how your start was in life. You're breathing. So the minute from you got life, from you've got breath, there's an opportunity for you to do better. And so there's no I told you so coming from me when we win. It's a personal gratification for myself, because I believe that it's one step to what I've always said I wanted to do.
Without giving away specific tactics, I know you wouldn't anyway, but what sort of fight and performance should we expect from Anthony in January? You know, boxing masterclass, all-out war, early finish. You know, what sort of fight?
Dan, you know we can't talk tactics. We can't. We have to see. You know, I think one thing we know is that you have two fighters. And again, I'm going to highlight this. One has 18 KOs in 18 fights. But one has 22 KOs, which is more KOs than fights that the opponents had. Combined, they have 40 fights. Anthony Yarde has challenged for a world title, about to challenge for a unified title in 12 plus 23, 41 fights.
35.
To 18, sorry.
Oh, you said 12 plus 23.
Sorry. 12 plus 23. Yeah, how many fights at the time? 23. So, I even miscalculated. Which my dad is not going to be too happy about, being a chartered accountant. Yeah, big SecondsOut fan. So I miscalculated. I don't know. I was thinking of his 18, but 12 amateur, 23 professional. So in 35 fights, Anthony Yarde has challenged for one world title, and now about to challenge for a unified belt in 35 fights. The opponent has had over 300 amateur fights, 18 professional fights. So let's, for argument's sake, let's say 300. So who's special? Who's special? The person who under 40 fights has challenged. I understand the point that we haven't won a world title, but we've challenged. It took the opponent over 300 fights to challenge for his first world title. Then you go into the professional KO ratio. Anthony Yarde has more knockouts than he's had fights. So the way I see it is that you have two punchers here who like the knockout. So without giving away any game plans, you know, I can't see this fight going the distance.
And you can't see Beterbiev winning, so by that virtue, it's a knockout for Yarde. That's your prediction.
You're putting words in my mouth. Matt, he's putting words in my mouth.
Process of elimination, surely.
Process of elimination. It's going to be a great fight. You know, one thing myself and Anthony have always done is respect our opponent. We're not into talking no negative stuff, because it's a serious sport, you know, and that was highlighted to me in Russia when I saw Anthony in that situation. So I don't like to talk about what is going to happen. I just pray that everybody's can go home to their families at the end of the night, and let's enjoy the night. And yeah, it's going to be exciting.
And just finally, you prepare for every eventuality, you visualise the future. There's going to come a day, hopefully not in the too close future, when Anthony Yarde decides he's going to move on from boxing. He's your only fighter as a trainer. What will you do then?
Well, it's not that fighters don't want me to train them. Yeah. This is my life. I'm not looking past today. Really, I will never look past today, because all we have in reality is today. Tomorrow's never promised. I don't know what Ant's going to do tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. And let's just enjoy ourselves here in the present and take each day as it comes.
Brilliant, Tunde. Really appreciate it.